Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share a conversation I had in the afternoon in my weekly visit to see my good friend Lindsay Laurie. I've been probably visiting Lindsay on a regular basis in the nursing home where he lives now for not quite 12 months yet, although I met him before that because he had another friend that was living there as well, and that's how I met Lindsay, and he was a friend of mine. So I've been just amazed at Lindsay's talents, his skills, his gifts. He is, in my mind, one of the great, many people know about him, but in my mind, the general public just doesn't know how good this man is as a poet, or has been. He's not writing much poetry these days, but he's got a whole collection of his poetry on the internet, which you can look up. Just look up Lindsay Laurie's poetry, and you'll find a lot of his poems, and mainly about Australia and the Australian bush, and birds and animals and all that sort of thing, and they're absolutely enthralling. Not only that, he's written some novels, which he's not published and doesn't intend to, which are really amazing stuff. And last week I called in to see him, and he was putting some of his poems to music with a vocalist and instruments all through AI. And he was blown away, and so was I when I heard them, of just how good they were, how much his music lends itself to songwriting, and how much his poetry lends itself to songwriting and recording and all that sort of stuff. But he hasn't gone down that track. Anyway, yesterday we had a good conversation about. He showed me some of the latest ones he's done, put into music. And then we got onto a broader discussion about his poetry and how he writes it, and what the secret is, and did he ever have any training? Where did he develop his gift? Why did he develop it? All those sort of things. And I spent about an hour with him yesterday. So what you're going to hear now is an edited version of about a half an hour of our conversation. I didn't put the music on there because of copyright and all that sort of stuff. I don't think we're quite there yet where we want to put AI-generated music up on YouTube. Anyway, have a listen to Lindsay. Other people, when I've posted a couple of conversations with him before, other people have written in and commented, some of his fans from way back. He has a lot of fans overseas in places like America. And just enjoy. And I'd love to hear your comments about what he's got to say and our conversation. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Like if you like, subscribe if you wish, and keep on listening. This will just be an audio track. We're not going onto air with our lovely faces in these meetings. And I got full permission. I told Lindsay that I was recording this, and I got full permission from him to put on this interview that I did with him on YouTube. So there you go. Keep on listening. See you later.
That'll do anyway.
Yeah, when you wrote this, yeah.
We at the last place we had a writers group.
Yeah.
There's about 6 or 8 of us.
This is in the nursing home where you were before.
Yeah, we had a writers group.
Yeah.
And we got up there and they said it's about writing something or other. And I wrote that in this hour session at the writers group.
Yeah.
And they couldn't bloody believe it.
Yeah.
They could not believe it that somebody could write that in an hour.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. If the gift to write these things like that,
yeah,
this nature stuff, is to be able to actually see it in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You got to, I had a friend, he wanted to be a writer, but he couldn't get the gist of seeing things, you know.
Yeah.
And I wrote this poem, and I've still got it.
Yeah.
It's 78 verses.
Really? What's that called?
Australia, where else? Watch your feet there.
Yeah. And is that on? Have you got that on the internet?
No, I couldn't put it on.
Yeah,
Because
78 verses.
too many verses.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the finish of it. I just had to finish it. I couldn't, because I was at a poet's breakfast.
Yeah.
And this bloke, he's dead now, Paddy O'Connor.
I'm just recording this. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got up there and he wrote.
Yeah.
Or he didn't write it. Or he might have wrote it. I don't know. But he did this poem about how glorious Australia was.
Yeah.
You know, and all this trees and this and all that. And I'm sitting back. I thought, this is not right. You know,
Yeah.
something about it not right. So I sat down. It took me a while to do it, but I put in these glorious verses of about Australia, and then I followed up with all the blasted things that drive you nuts. You know, like when you're camping and that, and you're beautiful, and all of a sudden you got mosquitoes and everything.
Yeah.
And every place I went to,
And the smoke blowing in your eyes in the wrong direction.
I did everything.
Yeah.
But I really only did the East Coast. I didn't even go to Western Australia. I thought, I can't keep going on this. Just went for hours. You know, like, and I never recited it anywhere, but I have let people read it.
Can you let me read it? Can you send it to me? Is that possible?
Yeah, I hope it fits on an email.
Oh, well, you can
I'll send it to you.
It'll fit on an email.
Yeah, I'll send it to you after you leave.
Yeah, okay, that'll be great.
Oh, gosh. Australia, where else?
So where do you think you get your gift from? Because you are very gifted, you know.
I don't know about that, but when I was at work,
Yeah.
you know, with things going wrong, and I used to write poems and put them up on the wall, you know.
Yeah. For the rest of the staff to read.
You know, for the rest, we just stuck them on the notice board now.
Yeah.
And
Some
I
of them
never kept them.
Some of them a bit sarcastic about what was going on.
No, it was all funny.
All funny stuff.
All fun.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there was this bloke who was the head honcho of the company I worked for. Like there was a lot of, wasn't only this factory I worked at, but he was in the head office in Melbourne and all this sort of stuff. And he moved up to Longwarry, and what annoyed him was the factory which he was in charge of. At 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock, they used to blow the factory whistle for, you know, it was for the town to let them know, you know, when the whistle went, the kids you knew to go home at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that's been common in a lot of country towns, I think. Yeah.
And what happened was he stopped it.
I think even in the suburbs we used to have that round our place.
Yeah. Anyway, I wrote this poem about having to go at the boiler blokes about how happy they are they don't have to blow the whistle. But it was a really funny poem.
Yeah.
We stuck it up in the boiler house.
Yeah.
Anyway, one day there, the boiler attendant come down grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Yeah.
And he said, "Guess who I've had in their little office, you know?"
Yeah.
I had no idea. They said, "Peter Morgan." And he was number one.
Yeah.
And he come in and he read the poem, you know? And I said, "Oh God, what did he say?" He said he laughed and he took the copy and he's taken it down to Melbourne.
So that was the beginning of your career, was it?
Oh,
No, you'd already started before that.
I'd read.
Yeah.
And somehow I had this, I don't know how I got it, I just had this ability to do the syllable. That's the real, I reckon that's the real values of a poem.
The syllable, what do you mean by that?
Count,
The syllable count.
count in a line.
So what's the definition of a syllable?
A syllable, in the word syllable itself, it's got 3 syllables. Sil, a, bu.
Yeah.
That's 3 syllables. So if you have you can have a 12 syllable line, but you keep all 4 lines in one sort of poem to 12. Make sure you have 12 syllables. That makes it flow.
Okay.
It makes the poem, but you don't have to do it all like that.
Yeah.
You can do it in a limerick.
Okay.
I've written about 150 limericks too.
Yeah.
Now, a limerick, say, they've got 5 lines. You'll have 10 syllables, 10 syllables, 6 syllables, 6 syllables, and 10 syllables. That's how a limerick works.
Okay.
It's like that. But
so you learnt all this just by reading it and thinking about it?
No
one taught you?
No, nobody taught me.
No.
I just worked it out by reading other people's poems, the good poets and that.
Yeah.
But it really doesn't account for a song. Like bush ballads and that, and a lot of those things you're listening there, it works like that. But it doesn't put, a lot of it doesn't have, when they stretch a word out in a song and that, and all that, it's sort of, songs are different. Some of them, they have all sorts of syllables. It's written for the music. Like you said before, some people write the music and then they just fit the words.
Fit the lyrics to it.
Whereas if you listen to bush ballads and stuff like that, they like riding a horse, Then when they come to the chorus, they change it a bit. They change it for the chorus.
Yeah.
But the verses are all the same.
All the same, riding the horse type rhythm.
All the time you're riding. It's like riding a horse. You canter.
Yeah.
But when you come to the chorus, sometimes you have a bit of bucking and jumping and carrying on,
Bit of buck jumping.
But I realised there are other ways of doing the poems. Like you can have the first line could say have 14 syllables. The second line can have 10. But the third line's got to have 14, and the fourth line's got to have 10. You'll see a lot of poems like that too. But that's why if you don't do it like that, you can't recite it
in a public recital thing.
You can, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't work.
Okay.
It doesn't come out right. It's a syllable count that, like some lines might look really short.
Yeah.
But they've got a lot more syllables.
So when you're writing, you are counting the syllables literally?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But I'll tell you how I do it. Well, I was when I was writing them. I write it just as it's come out. Then I count the syllables and then I go through fixing it up.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes you got to...
So you do editing of it to make the syllable count right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can have... It's not going to do much damage if you've got to be a 14 syllable line and the next one's 13 or 15. You can get away with that. But it's better to have it the same, and that's when it reads better. But I just... It was just... And once you get that into your head and you can get it, you sort of go along with it,
Do they teach that sort of stuff in university or schools or colleges or anything like that?
All this modern poetry is...
So they used to teach it, did they? That sort of stuff?
Yeah.
But those guys, the famous like Banjo Patterson, all those guys, they never would have been taught any of that stuff.
They probably wouldn't have been, but one would have seen what the other one's doing.
Okay.
Now, probably Banjo Patterson might have been, because he was a reporter.
Okay, yeah.
But the best poems I've read in a book were from Father John O'Brien, Patrick Hardigan. Gosh.
Who is this? What was the guy's name?
John O'Brien, but that was his pen name.
Yeah.
Real name was Patrick Haggerty.
Patrick Haggerty.
Haggerty or Haggerty. his poems are just absolute perfect, and mostly it's about the old days in the going to church, and he wrote that "We'll all be ruined," said Henry.
Okay, I remember that one. "We'll all be ruined," said Henry Ham.
Remember that?
I do know that line. Yeah.
And that was about, you know, how the farmers whinge about when there's no rain. Oh, you know, they said, "Oh, we'll all be ruined." And when it got all the rain, it's going, "We'll all be ruined again," you know. And I reckon I couldn't get over how good that was.
Yeah.
Writing that book. Around the Boree Log, it was called.
Yeah. The other one that I like that's really just rolls along is Mulga Bill's Bicycle.
Oh.
You know, that's a classic, isn't it?
That's Banjo.
That's Banjo Patterson. Yeah.
The one I like the best is about, what's it called? Mulga Bill from Eagle Hawk, was it?
Something like that.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I think I do. I've got it in a book at home somewhere.
When he went to the city and they went to have a shave and the barber winked at all the others and slammed, you know, put the razor in boiling water.
Oh, I don't remember that one.
Put the
better look it up.
Back of the razor and slashed it across his throat, and he thought he tried to kill him, so he got up and he bashed everybody in the room, and that's why you'll always see the men with flowing beards back in Eagle, or he went back with and the other one that I liked was about he found he reckoned he'd found an antidote for snake bite.
Yeah.
And what happened was, you seen these two goannas fighting?
Yeah.
Or was it, no, a goanna was fighting with a snake.
Yeah.
And anyway, when the fight was over, you know, the goanna went and ate these leaves off a tree. And the thing thought, that's the antidote for snake bite. So anyway, he got these leaves and he made a concoction and got a snake to bite his dog.
Yeah.
They gave him this concoction, the dog died. So he went out shooting every lion, bloody goanna around.
All the goannas were lying.
Yeah, I like that one too. But you know, that Mulga Bill's Bicycle.
That is a classic.
But they were back in those days. They used to write long poems.
Yeah, well, Clancy the Overflow was that fairly long?
Yeah,
yeah.
You know
We did that at school. That was great.
Yeah, they did it for a reason.
What was that?
Back in those days, when they got them published, they got paid by the line.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, in the papers.
Same as you got to pay by the line when you put a death notice in the
Yeah.
paper or an engagement notice or something.
But they got paid, these poets.
Yeah.
Because that was the entertainment. And people singing around the piano. That's why Waltz and Matilda come about.
Yeah.
Singing around the piano. But the tune to Waltzing Matilda, they reckon, was taken from a German marching.
Yeah, I think I've heard that.
You know, so... Yeah, so, but... and that stuck around, hasn't it?
Well, that's in our nursing home sing-alongs that we do a couple of times a month, Leslie and I. She plays the piano and I just lead the singing, supposedly. There's one lady there, she loves Waltzing Matilda, and she's always asking for it. And she's not an Australian born, but she loves the song.
Oh, jeez.
But Leslie's always complaining, it goes for such a long time.
It really is a good song. And I hate it when I hear it sung and they leave verses out.
Yeah.
They do that a lot too.
Yeah, it is a good song.
You know, it really tells the story of
It is. Yeah, we had... I've still got the poetry books we did at high school at home. They had some great poems in the Bunyip and the Whistling Kettle. Do you remember that one?
No.
You should look that one up, Lindsay.
Bunyip.
The Bunyip and the Whistling Kettle. It's about some guy out in the bush and eventually he falls victim to the bunyip. You know?
Oh, yeah.
He's out.
Yeah, I heard about the Bunyip.
Yeah, the Bunyip and the Whistling Kettle. Yeah.
See, the next town to us is named Bunyip.
Is it? Okay.
We're Long Warring and it's Bunyip.
Yeah.
And the Bunyip River flows there.
Okay.
And it's... but so we don't probably look as the Bunyip as a mythical animal. We look at it as a town.
Yeah, true. You would if you're living next door to a town called
You
Bunyip.
brought up,
But apparently the bunyip rumour came of this so-called animal called a bunyip because of the noise that the birds make, the bittern. They got this booming call. They're in the region, you don't see them, but they got this booming call, and they sound a bit like a bull roaring as well,
Yeah. What about there's another bird. It's got a long beak, and it's a small bird, and it's got a mournful,
the curlew.
Curlew,
Yeah, I've got recordings of those that professional people have recorded them.
I've
heard them at night up around Renmark, but they're not there anymore. When I used to go out camping in the bush with my father-in-law. Yeah, sort of a curlew.
Yeah.
Curlew.
I wrote a short at this writers group.
Yeah.
I wrote a short story about the curlew in the cemetery.
Yeah.
It frightened the life out of people.
I got some good photographs of them up around Darwin. Curlew's quite common at a place called East Point, out from Darwin, and they were there. We were driving past with my friend Dave one day and saw these. I saw these curlews. I thought, stop the car, and they camouflage. You can be standing right next to them, and you can't see them. They're a bit like the tawny frogmouth. You can be, a yard away and don't know it's there. And the curlews are the same. They blend in.
I saw a tawny frogmouth. It was at the golf club at Kumiella.
Yeah.
Or Dearden, I think. And there was an old fence post. Jeez. And you couldn't, unless you had a second look, you wouldn't have known it was a bird.
No, they're amazing. Yeah. And you get it when they become familiar with you though, they're likely to open their beak and yawn or they blink their eyes, and then you think, oh, they are real.
Yeah. Actually, they brought one in here one day.
Yeah, I saw it. Well, I've seen one in one of the other nursing homes. They bring all the animals in.
Yeah, that's the one.
Same people. Yeah, and they had a goanna and everything.
And they had this snake too.
Yeah. They did that down at West Beach where I visit down there.
And they brought a horse in here one day coming through. It was about 3 or 4 foot high.
Well, the nursing home I've just been to before I came here, they were telling me that this morning they had those little ponies in, about so high, with some kids came in.
Yeah, but that day they brought that snake in. A lot of people are frightened of snakes.
They are, yeah.
I come down here and I shouldn't have done it. There was 2 old ladies sitting around there. One was a Scottish lady.
Yeah.
I said, "Have been down here yet?" And they said, "What do you mean? Who?" I said, "The people that own those animals." "No, why?" I said, "Oh, the blasted snake got away and they can't." "Oh, she nearly had a heart attack, the woman. I better not try that again." Better not try that sort of case.
I've been recording all this, Lindsay.
Oh, no.
It's fascinating.